Hey guys, welcome back to Holistic Homesteading with the Hurst. I'm Megan, and today we're going to be doing some seed starting and sowing in the garden. Thank you, baby.
Now we all have done.
So I have read this book, Carrots Love Tomatoes. I'm going to really try to implement companion planting this year in my garden. We had a lot of bug issues last year and just some things that I think could have done better. So I'm going to try to implement that this year. So I have that, and then I have kind of an outline of my garden on this grid paper. And I have tried to write, yeah, you can see. So I've tried to put plants together that I know we're going to eat and that also complement each other. We've also got some flowers this year like nasturtiums and what was the other one? Morning glories.
And sprouted.
Yeah, I have chamomile. There was another one. Marigolds. They're supposed to be really good in the garden to help with pollinators as well as to help with pests. So we're going to try planting those this year. So it is the end of February and I am going to go outside. We bought some seed bulbs for onions, and I'm going to go ahead and sow maybe about half of those today, and then I may wait a couple weeks and sow the other half. Just because I'm not 100% sure if this is the time to sow them or not. It's kind of still experimental for me. Some posts say wait until the ground can be worked in spring. We're in Tennessee, zone 7, and for the most part, the ground can be worked. It's pretty good. And we have raised beds some, so I'm going to sow these in some raised beds. Hopefully they do well. I'm also going to be sowing some seeds in, I want to say indoors, but it's not really indoors. It's on a covered porch, and we have grow lights. I don't know how well this is going to work out for some of my warmer weather crops, but so far some of my seedlings that we sown a little over a week ago have sprouted and are doing really well, and they are cold weather crops. So we've got broccoli and yeah, we need to sow some cabbage seeds today. I'm also going to try to sow some direct seeds out into the garden like spinach and some lettuce varieties and just hope that they go well. I am not a garden expert. I love gardening. I think it's really awesome.
And I love gardening.
Yeah, and I definitely love the produce that we get from it whenever everything's in full bloom and producing. But every year, it's kind of like an experiment. So this year, I'm hoping to have like a garden journal, write everything down on the dates that I've sown. Yeah, you're right. Write down everything that I have sown and the dates and just kind of see what has worked best. So I'm also due with baby number 3 in May, the beginning of May. So a lot of this stuff is kind of like, I'm not really sure when the best time to plant is because I don't know when this baby's going to be here. So we're just kind of winging it and hoping that I'm able to do that.
Daddy ought to stay here a long time whenever the baby gets here.
Yeah, but Daddy doesn't know much about gardening, and I don't think he really wants to know either. So the garden part is left up to me. He can feed animals and stuff. So that's what we're going to be working on today, and we're going to go ahead and get started. So this is the bed we're going to start in. Here, I think that I'm going to take up this log right here and just make this one bigger bed. We did the Back to Eden Gardens method last year, and the soil is super nice underneath there. Hey, not that one, Sayla. I meant that big one.
This one?
Yeah. So we'll make it one big bed. Yeah. So
I can't do that one.
They're a little bit raised, but not super. We had our potatoes in here last year, so we're going to try onions in here, and then we're going to do our potatoes in there this year. Oh, we're also going to put our onions in with the broccoli here, brassicas, so hopefully that will repel extra.
Mommy, so this is going to be onions, and this is going to be onions too?
Yeah, we're going to do rows going down this way. all the way down. All right, so let's move that, and then start making our rows.
Everywhere.
I just lost my help. The kids are going to go work out with Brian, which is completely fun. So I'm going to now sow some spinach seeds in close to my strawberries. Those are supposed to complement each other as well. I don't remember what they do for each other. So I don't remember how they complement each other, but I am going to plant those. And I know that spinach can germinate in super cold weather. So we're gonna just try it out. I've got lots of spinach seeds, so I'm just gonna plant them like in between my strawberries. I did transplant my strawberries. I think there's one that I missed and that I need to weed a little bit in the garden. I've just been trying to take it in chunks before spring gets here because I don't want to be overwhelmed with weeds, but also don't want to like sit here and weed everything in one day. My back just can't handle it. So, and then we're going to cover that with some cardboard, and just to keep the soil covered until spring and planting time for when the potatoes are ready to be planted. All of our ducks are asleep. I have to show you guys this. They're like all napping in the sun. Okay, so most of the weeds have been pulled now. The potato bed is covered. Mother Nature, or creation, as I like to say it, doesn't like to be left bare. So I want to make sure that we covered that up, and I'll show you guys. So we will remove the cardboard when it comes time to planting, but right now we just have sticks and stuff to hold the cardboard down. So hopefully that stays. Now, I've mentioned this in another vlog, but this thing right here, guys, if you don't have one, it's called the Garden Weasel, thegardenweasel.com. I'll try to find a link and put it in the description for you guys. But this thing pulls weeds and saves your back. It's so much easier than having to climb down or get on your knees and like hand pull. So most of the time, especially if you have raised beds, it's super easy. It grabs a hold of the roots, pulls it up in like one little twist. So it's super nice. I definitely recommend getting one of those. A friend of ours actually gifted us that as a housewarming gift, and that's been a great gift. So now I'm gonna go get a hard rake and just kind of smooth over where we pulled weeds at. The chickens and ducks need some water, and they're really enjoying going through these weeds that we fed them. I doubt that they'll eat the greens, but there was definitely some juicy worms in there, and I'm sure there's other bugs in there that I didn't see. So they are having a really good time pecking through that, going through that. Once I get the garden smoothed back over, I'm going to start sowing some seeds in my trays, and yeah, just probably do a few more things around here until I just can't stand up anymore. Okay, so the last thing I'm going to do today is plant some herb seeds, and I found this container, so I'm going to it had plants in it at some time. It's just not mine, so I guess it was left here by the previous owners. So I'm going to kind of I'm going to fill it up similar to as if I was doing a raised bed outside, because I don't want to put that much soil in there. So I feel like it's a waste of soil. So I went and got these sticks out that were just laying on the ground. They're kind of dried out, so we'll fill that up at the bottom. But first, herbs like a lot of drainage, so I'm going to drill a few holes at the bottom so that they have enough drainage, and we'll fill it up with the sticks, and then fill it up with some soil and put some herb seeds in there. So I ended up putting 8 holes in the bottom, just kind of about 2 inches apart. Nothing overly done. And I'm just going to stick these sticks in the bottom here. That's what that looks like, and I filled it about halfway up. And now I'm just going to put my soil on top of those. All right, so I'm gonna pour this soil just directly on top. This is a seed starting soil. It's not the best. I just grabbed what I could find at Tractor Supply, and it just happened to be Miracle Grow, which stinks, but it's really hard to find organic soil around here where we live. Good job, baby. All right, so I filled the dirt up. There's probably about an inch space at the top, and I'm going to start putting my seeds in there. So I'm going to do some oregano, cilantro, let's see what else we got in here, and some basil. And that's all I'm going to do in this one. I think I'm going to keep this one really close to the house because I use these very often, a lot. So I'm just going to plant what's going to be easiest to access for me. And since I'm just doing 3, I'm going to sow these in like 3 sections here. I'm not going to use all of these. I'm probably going to have to thin them out once they start growing. So that one was basil. I'm going to go ahead and mark that on one of my little markers. Put that right in there. Next thing is some cilantro. If I have any, these are old seeds, so they may not even. Oh yeah, I got a few left. And I plan on planting some oregano outside as well. This says it's a perennial, so it comes back every year. It has purple flowers, and it spreads by underground runners. So I'm gonna definitely sow some of these outside too. These are tiny. Then I'm just going to take a little bit and cover it up. I'm out of markers, so I'm going to have to find something to mark the oregano, but thankfully I will know. That'll be very simple to remember. Alright, now I'm going to spritz with water and get the soil nice and moist. And then I will place these in a bright window. Alright, so I put this in the window. I don't think this faces south. It doesn't get very much sun because we have a overhang right here. But this will be good for them to germinate, and then I can put them, I don't know, under the sun or under the skylight or something like that. Alright, you guys, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed this and learned something. If you did and you want to help support the channel, then give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to hit that little bell notification because it's what actually sends you notifications when I upload new videos. So I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.